Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. We're taking it back to the 90s with this 4-pack unboxing from the Batman Forever wave, including Batman, Robin, Two-Face, and of course that dastardly guy, the old question Quizler, the Riddler. Alright, obviously, this is going to be a pretty big unboxing, so there's no way that we can do this the old-fashioned way of opening a box and checking out every single packaging and doing all that stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take it offline, unbox everything, we'll go through each individual figure and give our thoughts at that point. But man, here's a good look at the package. You get an idea what the Build-A-Figure is, what looks like a rat of some sort kind of snuck into the packaging, but obviously it is not. What do we got here? We got some stuff hanging out of the bottom. Get on out of here. But, you know, normal, typical McFarlane packaging, all that good stuff. Who's all in the wave? Batman, Robin, Riddler, Two-Face, and then, of course, you get the Nightmare Bat Build-A-Figure as well. So, again, we're going to take it offline, get all these guys unpacked, and then we'll get into the Batman Forever 4-pack wave. Alright, here we go. Let's start off with the good guys first. I think they're kind of the most vanilla bland of the pack, so we'll start off with those guys. Starting off first with Robin and his Build-A-Figure piece, and that is a big, veiny thing right there. If you've ever seen the movie Waiting, you might get a joke from this, a good old Batwing. So there you go. Pretty big, pretty massive, so that kind of gives you an idea of the scale of what we're looking at for the Nightmare Bat. So should be interesting once we get to that. Batman does have, or I'm sorry, Robin does have 2 sets of hands, extra hands I should say, so that's worth noting. I'm not going to get into it. Hands are hands, and when we're dealing with this much action figure goodness, I think you can understand why we don't want to get too deep into everybody's hands. But let's go ahead and get deep into Robin. Good old Chris O'Donnell looking face there. Yeah, that's pretty much Chris O'Donnell to a T, or maybe in this case to an R. Definitely looks good. Looks like he's got some blue eyes going on there. Looks very nice. Moving down his chest plate, he's got his Robin logo there. Interesting take on the classic kind of Robin look here. Still got the colors. The Grayson colors from the Flying Graysons. As we know in the movie, he's out for some big time revenge on Two-Face. So he does get that in the end. Spoiler alert. But a nice hefty figure. Feels really good in hand. Got the boots here. Nice detail on the boots. Very nice going on. The colors pop big time. I was kind of, do I really need this Robin? But I figured I was going to get all the other 3 because I wanted all those. So I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and get Robin. And I'm glad I did. It looks very, very nice. One of the major things here is we do have a wire cape. So he can definitely do some Flying Grayson type stuff with his cape. So that is a super bright spot here for Robin, and an interesting choice considering what we roll into next with Batman. But overall, I will give Robin here, I'm going to go with like a A-. This is a great figure. Skin tone's a little off, but that's kind of McFarlane human form, so not too much to complain about that. So yeah, a solid A- here for Robin. Alright. Let's move on to the Dark Knight himself. Or maybe he's not so Dark Knight himself, but we'll check about that in a second. Here's the Nightmare Bat head that comes with Batman for his Build-A-Figure piece. I'm curious to see how this goes together. Hopefully it goes together pretty easily, but sometimes these Build-A-Figure pieces can be tricky, but looks really good. And it sure looks like, yep, so it does have a movable mouth, so that's a nice little touch, so you can have them really either chomping down on somebody or just kind of a more menacing, kind of preparing to chomp down on somebody look. as he's flying through the air there. So pretty cool there. Also, with Batman, it does come with a flight stand with a nice little embossed DC action going on there. And again, the flight stand that comes with it. Nice wide base, which I think it's going to need because this thing looks pretty massive. Now, Batman does have some accessories where Robin was kind of lacking in that category. He definitely had a little bit of, he had an extra set of hands, and that was about it. But we will go into Batman's weapons here real quick. Just a nice silver weapon choice here. I don't think it moves or does anything else, no spinning side to side or anything like that, so pretty straightforward with what you got there. And then we have another, I guess this would be considered a battering. I'm not sure how many varying degrees of battering we have here, but another battering type thing here, and again, all silver. And then a much more, at least sculpted, more petite version here of another, what I would assume is a battering, and I do like this one a lot. Kind of a staple for the old Batman. Alright, now in comes Batman the Dark Knight, or as I said, maybe he's not so dark. He is a silverish blue Batman here. But of course, we need to check out his face. So his face looks very good. You do have that kind of Val Kilmer-ish jawline, which makes sense because this is Val Kilmer. Nice Batman Forever cowl, extra kind of additions here on the side. Looks really nice, extra sculpting there, and kind of a flat tip there. It looks like on the insides and everything for his Batman cowl. Let's see here. You know, I'm not bothered by the blue. It's under a pretty bright light like this. It does come across kind of a stark kind of pop there, especially against the very black of his cape and cowl. But it doesn't bother me. I think the blue and the silver and gold and all this stuff, I think it works fine. So lots of detail here. Obviously, with this sculpt, you have some extra arm slicing action going on there. The blue coming through on this pin is kind of a bummer. That is a point of ick for me, especially as somebody who doesn't do anything more than, like, at the very most fix-up wise is like adding a part or something. So I wouldn't be painting this, so that's an issue for me. And then again, on the other side, doesn't seem to be as bad because it's in the blue. So worth noting there. No issue here because the blue stays on the blue. And then you get the boots. Again, looks very nice. Nice detail there. Let's see how he stands. He looks like he might have a little issue standing. So let's just do that stand test. Of course, all these McFarlane figures do come with stands. So even if he does have a problem standing, you do have that going for you. And it looks like he's going to have a little bit of issue. I will play with him here a little bit to figure that out. But something I referenced about Robin here is just loosey-goosey cape. So very weird that they would go through the trouble of doing a very nice wired cape for Robin and not for Batman. So not too sure what to think of that. Maybe they just knew that people were going to buy Batman no matter what, and it is what it is. So for this, this is a C-. C- Batman figure. Kind of a bummer. Just a little off, we'll say. But now let's get off to the bad guys. Hey, yo. Alright, first up on the bad guys is Mr. Two-Face. This one is, of course, Tommy Lee Jones. What a fun, cool Two-Face we get going on here. Accessories-wise, not too much going on, but we will look at a hand in just a moment, as it does come with one extra set of hands, which works nicely, since he's got this already built-in hand, which I really, really appreciate. I know sometimes they'll do extra coins that you can kind of put in your hand, but come on, let's face it, we lose those every single time. So to have it kind of squared away and done for you works very nice. Gonna get that effect that it's flipping through the air, which I do appreciate. So worth noting, which is actually on this hand too, so we won't have to go too deep into it. So you do have another hand with a Pew Pew hand. So I do appreciate that McFarlane does do that. There's obviously, I think on their website, McFarlane Toys, they sell Pew Pews in order, so you can kind of fill out your line. So to go ahead and put a hand in there that is ready for that they can't maybe put on retail shelf is a awesome, cool move there by McFarlane. So good job, greatly appreciate that. But all in all, I mean, this is a suited figure, but it's a freaking cool figure, man. Look at this guy, he's popping. Obviously, you actually finally get a Tommy Lee Jones likeness, which in the early or mid 90s toys you didn't get, and that was always such a bummer. Maybe I was just a stickler as a kid, but I would see a figure and be like, oh, this is Two-Face, and it would look nothing like Two-Face. And that just kind of always took me out of it for play value-wise. But looking great here with all the extra detail on good old Two-Face. Now let's get to who I think is the star of the show, the Riddler. And here we go. We'll go ahead and look at some hands. Actually, we won't look at the hands. Hands are the hands, no big deal. But he does come with one extra little silly accessory, which was nice to put in. And that is one of these little, they make like a squishy duck sound when he throws them, but they're like little grenades there. So pretty cool. Nice little addition for them to throw in. Which, of course, they didn't have to, but I think they're like little cats or piggies or something like that. It's been a little while since I've seen that movie, but again, on to the star of the show, Jim Carrey as the Riddler. And it's always funny looking back. I remember as a kid, you know, talking like fantasy booking the Batman movies after Batman after Batman Returns, being like, man, we got to get the Riddler. Who would play the Riddler? Oh, it's got to be Jim Carrey. You know, so it's like it's funny that we would always talk about that. Maybe somebody heard it or something one time. You know, watching Entertainment or Entertainment Weekly or something like that, and kind of teased it off as their own idea. But I do remember having those conversations with people from school, and it was always a good time. But look at Jim Carrey here, looking awesome. Just a very cool face sculpt. Bright orange, red hair. Little disguise there. It's doing numbers, and a very Fire Marshal Bill-esque mouth going on there. Super green suit, which there's almost little to no doubt that we are going to get this in a glow-in-the-dark form, right? There's just no way they can miss out on that opportunity to make this Riddler outfit into a glow-in-the-dark one. Surely that's going to be coming from McFarlane, as well as maybe the white outfit that he wears at the end of the movie. White kind of ivory white with what were they, gold lettering and green question marks, things like that. So that could be fun. It does come with this little staff here. It is a little wavy here, but not enough to really bother me enough to go heat it up or anything like that. So you can kind of get an idea there. It's got a few waves, but I think that's mainly just for them holding it in the package. But overall, super awesome looking figure. But let's go ahead, get all the figures up here, and give our final thoughts on this complete wave of Batman Forever figures. Alright, and here we go. We got the whole gang laid out. This Bat Nightmare dude is just so massive. He takes over the entire backdrop here. So get a good look at him. Go ahead and have to move around a little bit, which is unusual here, but if you're going to get them all, you got to get them all right. So pretty massive Build-A-Figure. Not too sure what I'll do with him because he's not going to fit with my display. So not too sure what we'll do with him, but he looks really cool. And definitely a one and done for the ages. But Batman and Robin looking pretty good. A little disappointing in Batman, I will say. Listening to everybody's complaints, didn't really think it was so bad. And then you kind of get hands on and you see a couple of the issues. So for the dynamic duo, that's a B-, I would say. But these two guys are home runs. This is a simple A+ all day long. These are great. So overall for the whole line, this is a solid line lineup, and hopeful for some more. I could do a few more figures, maybe a civilian Bruce Wayne, a with the Flying Graysons version of Robin, and some different costumes here, mainly for the Riddler would be nice. So what do you guys think? You guys seen this in stores yet? I know I found a few pieces at GameStop. The rest of them I had to pick up of Amazon. But let me know down in the comments below what you think. And while you're there, of course, go ahead and hit us with a like. Hit us with a comment, like I said. And of course, subscribe to the channel as we post new content every single day. But it's time to throw one back. So for myself and Uncle BJ, we are going to throw one back. And we'll see you all next time.